Hello and welcome to the ECY Shedcast, the wholly irregular ECY Shedcast I should say, and just a short one this week because it's been a relatively quiet week of just cracking on as much as possible with mostly wholesale orders. So hope you're well. Thank you for all the comments and everything on the last Shedcast. Much appreciated. I must admit it's not all that summery here in Yorkshire. It keeps on raining, which is why I'm indoors and not outside in the garden. It's also really windy, so it's quite loud. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. So what have we been up to this week? Well, like I said, been quiet, been just keeping my head down, trying to get as much dyeing done as possible, hence not a lot of social media. It's just so hard fitting everything in. I have help and it's still really hard fitting everything in, which is why the social media, I don't know whether it's even noticeable, but it comes in fits and starts, because I'll get time to do a whole load and then I won't, and I'll be really busy with other stuff. So yeah, it's just tough wearing all the hats, even when you do have help, I'm still wearing all the hats. So anyway, yeah, this week has been really busy, but just sort of not much to show for it, in a way. So we've got wholesale orders going to Germany. I know that you wanted to know the name of the shop, but unfortunately we don't know the name of the shop yet, so we will try and find out. It's one of those things that you don't realise that you don't know it until someone asks. And then we've got wholesale orders in progress for Yarn O'Clock and Find Me Knitting, which are both great shop names, aren't they? So yeah, so that's really good, really exciting. And then the update in progress that I'm currently working on, and that's all next to me here, is Rosedale 4-ply. So this is our sparkly, gold sparkly sock yarn. I say sock yarn, it's good for everything really, but you can also knit socks with it. And here is one I made earlier. That colourway is Leaf Piles. So yeah, in fact, let me just show you this whole box. The rest of it, all of this lot, is waiting to be twisted and labelled. So in fact, I could just show you a little bit here. This colourway is Clay. You can just make out the sparkle on it. What else have we got? We've got Daffodil, Dahlia. That was a colourway inspired by my favourite Dahlia, which upon moving into this garden instantly died and has never come back. And in all honesty, I haven't yet tried again. I will do at some point. We've got a Calamondin, sort of light limey colour. So yeah, hibiscus and bob myrtle. I don't know if you can see. Quite a few other ones under here. Rose hip. So yeah, that's all of that massive pile waiting to be done. But let me just show you this box. There you go. I appreciate not the best view, but also a very gorgeous view. So yeah, we've been having a lot of fun with this. Shall I show you what I've got in here? We've got Delphinium, and we've got, in fact I'll put that there and then it's not quite so tightly packed, Damask Rose. this is so nice. Crocus. And what I've tried to do, I've said this before, but what I try to do with the variegated ones is to try and make sure that these patches of colour, these washes, I always think of it as like a watercolour painting when it's all like washes and layers and things. But what I try to do is make sure that they're distributed throughout the skeins in such a way that hopefully you won't get any big chunks of pooling when it's knitted or crocheted up. So that's always my aim, at least. We have Summer Petals, which has got nice delicate speckles in it. Nothing too in your face, just little splashes, little petals of colour. We've got Woodland Strawberries. I actually gave this a bit more of a speckle for this dye lot. Just wanted to try it. I think it's worked out well. So obviously you've got your little strawberry pops, and then you've got the yellow of the flowers, like the centre of the flowers, and then there's little bits of green in there as well for the leaves. So yeah, nice delicate summery strawberry ripple ice cream kind of colour. This one is Horizon, which has got the kind of charcoal in it, and then a real mix of blues and a bit of teal to it. It's got sort of like washes of colour, like a watercolour, which is very cool. I'll show you another skein of that because this one's a bit darker. There you go, you can see the charcoal a bit more in that one. And then we have Barn Door, which is a lovely gentle blend of neutral colours. Lovely and soft. Leaf Piles, which I've already shown you, but I think deserves another viewing. There's Leaf Piles. It's weird how, although the sparkles are the same colour as the yarn, they somehow stand out more on this colourway, I think. Like, you'd think the contrast would be lower between the sparkles and the dye, but somehow it enhances it. Yeah, it's very cool. Put that to one side. And then we have here Pollen. So this one, to be honest, when I first made this colourway, which is quite a while ago, these were meant to be proper speckles, I think, and you know, like pollen. But actually in this batch they've come out quite subtle, and I actually really like that. I think that's worked out well. So that's Pollen. And then last but not least in this box we have Peat, as in peat-free compost or peat bog. So this is charcoal, and then it's got sort of washes of dark brown layered in over the top, which I appreciate don't stand out that much. It's fairly subtle. I must admit I thought the brown would stand out a bit more on this batch, but I think I like it as it is actually, and when it's knitted or crocheted up it's going to just be like a nice subtle kind of like almost a mild effect, I guess, like this kind of thing. So I might leave it as it is for future batches. So yeah, that's all the variegated colourways plus damask rose in that box. So yeah, Rosedale 4-ply. Very much looking forward to photographing all this lot, but there's all of this to be twisted and labelled yet, and then of course I'll have to wait. Oh, actually I probably won't have to wait long at the moment, because I'll have to wait for a cloudy day, which I'm having a lot of at the moment, so that could be quite handy. The other thing that I really want to do next week is photograph some colour combinations of Keld fingering. So we had a recent update of that, and what I want to do is take what's left and yeah, photo some colour combinations of it, because there is, I hope I'm allowed to say this, there's an upcoming design from Liz Cork using 2 colours of Keld fingering. So and I have been meaning to do colour combos of it, so that's motivation for me to get on with it. So yeah, I've got to do that, and then maybe after that, if this is ready, then I'll photograph this lot. But of course I've still got a lot of dyeing to do for my wholesale orders as well, so that's the next few days. And already on my mind is the next update, because I've always got to be trying to plan. I try to plan ahead. It doesn't always work, but I do my best. So the next update after this is going to be Carlisle fingering and Lowther lace. So Carlisle fingering is the singles superwash extra fine merino. We haven't had it for ages, but then there's all sorts that we haven't had for ages, so you know, that's just standard at the moment. So that's really exciting, looking forward to getting on with that as well. And then Lowther lace is the fluffy baby alpaca and silk 2-ply lace weight, which we have as an alternative really to fluffy mohair, because obviously we know that a lot of people can't wear fluffy mohair. I mean, I don't think Laura and Claire can wear it, so you know, it's like, if my own staff can't wear it, there are going to be other people out there who also can't wear it. So it's just good to have options, isn't it? So yeah, fluffy baby alpaca and silk, which yeah, so that's really cool. And I mean, it's even longer since we've had that, so yeah, loads of exciting updates. I just want to do all the yarn, all of it, in all the colours, but I have to be patient. It all takes time. So that's yarn. The other things that have happened this week are, we have a couple of pattern releases. So first of all, there's Janina Callio, who is aka Woolenberry. She's released a pattern called Cloud Gazing, which is a 1 skein shawl using Keld twist. I said that already, didn't I? 1 skein. It's on Instagram. I posted it this morning, and the pattern is available on, I think it'll be Ravelry and her website, presumably. So yeah, we're big fans of Woolenberry. Really love her styling and just basically everything that she does. So yeah, really exciting that she's used my yarn. And Keld twist, another one I need to do. It's the superwash merino and linen blend, but it's it's a 4-ply thickness, but it's spun as 2 plies. So it's just an alternative to Keld fingering, really. So yeah, again, we'll update that as soon as I can, as soon as I get a chance. So yeah, that's really exciting. And then the second pattern update release that we have this week is one of our own, and it's our Swainby hat, which I designed to go with my Swainby cowl. So Swainby hat uses 1 skein of Aran. It's made at a slightly tighter gauge than the cowl, on the basis that I wanted it to be a tight and cozy fit, you know, like a close fit. So yeah, because the Swainby cowl is designed in 3 strands of 4-ply, which works out at roughly Aran, but it's knitted on like 5.5mm needles. But I thought, for a hat, rather than faff about with 3 strands of 4-ply, let's just go for 1 skein of Aran. But then of course I wanted it like a tighter fabric, because the cowl is obviously a relaxed, kind of looser fabric. So yeah, that's how that came about. And anyway, so yeah, it's a hat. It uses a skein of Aran. We have lots of Aran. The pattern is available in all the usual places: our website, Payhip and Ravelry. We also have add-on kits, which means that you can choose your yarn, and if you add the add-on kit, we will just turn it into a kit. But it means that you get to choose your own yarn rather than us go, here's the yarn that's in the kit, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's in all the places. There is also a blog post which has has a gallery of all of the samples that I made. I've made about 4, I think, or 3, 4. Yeah, 4. I don't even have photos yet of the last one that I made. I really need to get on that, but it's not really the time of year for dressing up and pretending it's winter. So yeah, I still need to do that. Anyway, yeah, so I made 4, and then our testers, we have a lovely group of testers, pattern testers, and all of their hats are on the blog post too. So you'll be able to see how the hat looks in variegated yarn, you can see how it looks in acrylic yarn, you can see how it looks in, I think, all of our different types of Aran, and in short, it looks great. I wasn't even sure if it would look good in variegated yarn, if I'm honest, because I wasn't sure if it would be too textured, the pattern, but actually it works really well. So that's awesome. So yeah, check it out. And that brings us to, I think, to the end of this week's bumper update. In personal news, my back went again last Friday, more mild this time, thankfully, so I didn't lose much mobility, which meant that I was able to get moving quite quickly, which has really helped it to recover. I can still feel it, but it is recovering really well, and which is good, because I have 1 more week to go before I am running a 30-mile ultra, a hilly one at that. So yeah, next Saturday I will be trotting around the Yorkshire Wolds all day, and eating as much as I can and drinking as much water as I possibly can, and yeah, it's getting real now. So yeah, I'm trying to look after my back, really trying to start thinking about sleeping well and just increasing my food intake a little bit, making sure I get lots of good quality protein and carbohydrates and fat as well, all the good stuff. So yeah, it's quite a lot going on in this old noggin, to be honest. So yeah, that's weighing heavily on my mind, obviously. Book news. I think last time I was reading a surprisingly interesting book called Born to Run. I'm sure I spoke about that last time. So I finished that. It was fascinating, really interesting, and not as dry as I thought it might be. Not dry at all. So the next book that I'm on with now is called More Dew, and I have to be honest, I bought this book purely based on the cover. Yeah, just completely on a whim. Oh god, what time is it? Oh, right. So I'm 3/5 of the way through, which means I'm past part 1. It's a chunky book. It's 600 pages, but the last 100 pages of that is the glossary. I mean, make of that what you will. The first section I really enjoyed. Quite a page turner. Not like Station 11, but still pretty compelling. Kept me going, kept me interested. I'm on to the second part now. I'm not entirely sure what to think of the second part. I am gonna carry on reading. The thing is, the thing that's on the back of the book in the blurb doesn't seem to really quite correlate with what's actually happening, and I'm thinking, is that, are we ever going to get to that? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm still reading quite a lot, so because I'm keen to find out if what's on the back of the book is actually going to come to fruition, I suppose. So I should probably be able to tell you next week my final conclusion on it without, I don't want to sort of spoil it or put anyone off or anything like that. If you've read it, as always, I'd be really keen to know what you thought. We're away this weekend, so I'm going to take that and maybe take my next book. I'm not sure how much reading I'll get done, but I mean, I can't risk running out, can I? It's like with knitting and crochet projects, I'll take way more than I could possibly do in a weekend. Oh, sorry. Talking of knitting projects, I really should finish on that, shouldn't I? Shall I show you my Kismet? I have it right here, just for the occasion. And then I must finish and get this uploaded, because it's 4 o'clock already on Friday afternoon and time is running out, and I've still got so much to do. Here you go. Isn't it gorgeous? So it's good. It's a good amount of colour work, and you sort of get to the end of the colour work and you're like, yeah, I'm ready to do some stocking stitch now. But there's not so much plain stocking stitch that it's like super annoying. It's just the right amount. So yeah, I mean, I'll show you how far down I am. If that's the armhole, we are down to here. Maybe, well, actually probably maybe here. So top of my hips. This is long, actually. It's longer than I generally like them. So I've got a few more inches of stocking stitch to do, and then just the sleeves. Oh, and the neck. Yay! It would make a nice vest, actually, wouldn't it? I feel like that would make quite a nice, like, it almost looks vintage, doesn't it? That's not deliberate. The more that I look at it, the more vintage I feel like it is. So yeah, loving it. Can't wait to wear it. It's going to be warm with all that stranded colour work. It's going to be quite a nice warm one. Really, really enjoying Oakworth 4-ply for colour work, by the way. Oakworth 4-ply is 100% superwash New Zealand Polwarth wool. It's quite crisp, so it's not as woolly as things like Blueface Leicester. I don't know how to. Battery. I'm really gonna have to go soon. Yeah, great for colour work. Has a decent amount of bite, but is nice and smooth, which means it's quite soft to wear, and it does soften up on washing as well. So anyway, with that, my phone is telling me that the battery's low. I've got tons to do, and I'm sure that you do as well. and you're probably sick of the sound of my voice by now. So I'm going to head off, and I'll catch you next week. Have a great weekend, and thank you for watching. Bye.